Zara was an athlete, but in the face of danger and competition, Zara always panicked. Today she faced a storm, a real one, and failure meant losing herself and her friends down a cliff. Her thoughts got loud. What if I freeze? What if I'm not as good? What if all this effort was for nothing? Zara wasn't afraid of losing. She was afraid of failing. And that fear showed up every time something was at stake, or people were watching. In practice, Zara was unstoppable. She ran fast. Her jumps were amazing. When she lifted her bow, her hands were steady. But the moment competition began, when medals were mentioned, when parents leaned forward, when her name echoed through speakers or results mattered, her chest tightened. It didn't look like fear from the outside. It looked like pressure. But inside, Zara was telling herself a dangerous story. This isn't just a race. This is proof. You must win. You must win big, or everything you worked for means nothing. That story turned every match into a threat. And when your brain senses danger, it doesn't help you perform. It only goes to survival. She tightened. She overthought. She played smaller than she practiced. Zara didn't fail because she lacked talent. She failed because she believed failure meant something about her. Then she met Coach Marcus. Marcus was in his 40s, a former professional athlete whose career had ended years earlier. Not because he lacked talent, but because pressure had crushed him in his biggest moments too. And he taught from experience. He didn't coach speed, he didn't coach strength, he coached the mind. Marcus didn't change her diet, didn't add extra laps, didn't adjust her form. He asked one question. What are you really afraid of? Failure, Zara said. Coach Marcus nodded. Good, then we train that. From that day on, practice felt different. They trained the mind. Cold morning swims without warning, sprints at the end of very tiring sessions, standing at the starting line while teammates clapped and shouted on purpose, not to embarrass her, to teach her. Your body is strong, Coach Marcus said. Your mind just thinks danger is bigger than it is. He taught her something most athletes never practice: the difference between nerves and fear. Pre-game anxiety is normal, a fast heartbeat, butterflies, energy. But performance anxiety is different. It's built from a story that says, if you don't win, you're not enough. If you don't prove yourself, people will see the truth. If all this effort doesn't pay off, it was wasted. Coach Marcus helped her see it clearly. You're not afraid of the race, he said. You're afraid of what you think the race means. That changed everything. They built a new rule. Shrink it. Not the season, not the medal, the moment. One stroke, one step, one pull of the bow. When big nerves rose, Zara practiced breathing. Inhale for 4, hold, exhale for 6. Then Coach Marcus taught her about the bubble. She imagined a barrier around her. Everything else faded away. No crowd, no scoreboard, just her opponent, and the next move. Months passed. She didn't suddenly win everything, but something shifted. She played freer, looser, closer to how she trained. The fear didn't disappear, it just stopped driving. Then came the mountain trip where she faced her biggest challenge yet. Zara and 2 friends decided to hike. It was a risky mountain trail in early spring. Her friends were adventurous, but not trained athletes. They loved the outdoors. They loved the view. Halfway up, the sky changed rapidly. The wind hit first, sharp, sudden. Then the rain, cold and heavy. They could barely see anything. and the narrow trail turned slick within minutes. Mud slid under their boots. A steep drop waited on one side, sharp rocks on the other. Then there was loud thunder. Her friends froze in place. The winds grew fiercer. "What do we do?" one shouted over the rain. Zara felt it, the same tightness, the same rising storm in her chest. What if you fail them? What if you make the wrong move? What if they all pay the ultimate price because of you? The old story tried to return, but this time she recognized it. This isn't proof. This is just a moment. She heard Coach Marcus's voice in her mind. Shrink it. Not the mountain, not the storm, the next step. Zara closed her eyes for one breath. Inhale 4, hold. Exhale 6. First step. She scanned for shelter. A rocky outcrop slightly below the ridge could block some wind. "We move slowly," she commanded. "Step where I step." The wind pushed them around. The rain stung. But Zara didn't think about falling. She focused on her shoes, where they landed, how they gripped. "Torches on! Look at my steps!" They all followed instructions. When one friend slipped, Zara caught her wrist without panic. Not fast, not dramatic. Ready and observing. "Here, tie this to your belts." She shared a rope. They felt like mountaineers. "We got this. Stay alert," she called out calmly. They reached the rocky shelter and waited out the worst of the storm. They lit and hung their torches for rescue. The storm lasted all day. They focused on remaining snug and dry. Later, a rescue team guided them down safely. The story made local news. Trekking athlete keeps friends safe during critical storm. People called her brave, fearless, a natural leader. Zara knew the truth. No one is fearless. She had just learned how not to turn pressure into danger. Months later, she stood at another starting line, a national final. Crowds louder than ever, drums even louder. Her heart beat fast, but her mind was quiet. Not the medal, not the outcome, she thought. Just the next step. When the race ended, she crossed first, by quite a distance, gold around her neck. As the anthem played, tears filled her eyes. And that's how Zara learned to face her fears. So, if you're standing at your own starting line right now, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to win big. Shrink it to the next step. If this story helped you see pressure differently, drop a comment below and tell me what challenge you're shrinking this week. Share this with someone who needs it before their next big moment. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.